time is 5 o'clock. Here is the world news at 5. First, the top stories. World Bank team inspect Ogun road projects over proposed 350 million US dollars grants. Buhari wants Nigeria's exit from recession to improve living conditions. Ijaw leader Edwin Clark warns IPOB other Biafra agitators. Number of Nigeria's Hajj pilgrims who died in Saudi Arabia rises to 14. On the foreign scene, Obama says Trump's scrapping of US young migrant scheme is wrong. And Brazil's two former presidents face criminal charges. Good evening, I am Kunle. Alaye bringing you the news in detail shortly. Officials of the World Bank have arrived in Ogun State to inspect major roads being constructed by the state government ahead of the bank's disbursement of its proposed budget support grants to the state. The state government last month had sought the approval of the National Assembly for $350 million grant from the World Bank. The State Budget and Planning Commissioner, Adewale Adesina, announces the presence of the World Bank's officials in the state to newsmen at the end of the weekly meeting of the State Executive Council, presided over by Governor Kunle at the Governor's Office, Okimoso, in Abeokuta. The World Bank team, according to her, will be in the state for a week to assess the level of work on the road project to determine the justifications for the proposed grants that the state government is seeking for. Adewale also speaks on the proposed 2018 budget. Meanwhile, the Finance Commissioner, Wale Oshinawa, says the state government has finalized plans to release more funds for the quick completion of the ongoing projects in the state to meet up with the 2019 deadline set by the Amosu administration. Nigeria's economy has finally quit recession, according to figures released by the National Bureau of Statistics. The Bureau, in its Nigerian Gross Domestic Product (GDP) report, says the economy grew by 0.55% in GDP terms for the second quarter, after a contraction of 1.49% in the corresponding period in the year 2016. According to the Bureau, the figure indicates that the economy has recorded a positive growth after 5 consecutive quarters of contraction in the first quarter of 2016. Reacting to the news, the economic advisor to the president, Dr. Adeyemi Bipelu, attributes the exit of the country from economic recession to both the oil and non-oil sectors. The Buhari administration, according to him, will continue to drive the growth of the economy by vigorous implementation of the Economic Recovery Growth Plan launched by President Muhammadu Buhari last January. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed cautious optimism over the news that Nigeria's economy has quit recession, subject to Nigerians to unprecedented economic hardships. Buhari answering questions from newsmen while receiving the visiting president of Niger Republic, Mamusa Isofu, at his private home in Daura, Katsina State, welcomes the news. He, however, says the recovery of the economy from recession will be better appreciated only if it translates to improved living conditions of Nigerians. The president thanks the managers of the economy for their hard work and commitment, but says more work still needs to be done to accelerate the growth of the economy. Strike by resident doctors has affected services at the Federal Medical Center Idiaba in Abeokuta, but the strike did not disrupt the activities at the hospital, as all the department and wards were still operating. Rock City FM correspondent Sheyi Badiola visited the hospital, report that only the consultant and the health workers were attending to patients. An official of the hospital's chapter of the National Association of Resident Doctors told Rock City FM that they joined their counterparts in compliance with the directive from its national body. The hospital spokesman, Mr. Segun Rishajo, told Rock City FM that despite the ongoing strike, the hospital still has the capacity to take new patients who may want to visit the center for medical care. For instance, Rishajo explains that the hospital has not discharged any patients due to strike except those who have been certified for discharge from the hospital. Health Minister Professor Isaac Adewale has directed federal hospitals to employ the service of doctors on National Youth Service Corps (NYSC) to maintain services following the ongoing strike by resident doctors. Medical consultants and doctors on internship are also directed to maintain services. Spokesman of the Health Ministry, Boade Akinola, says arrangements have been completed to deploy facilities of the military, police, and members of the Federal Safety Corps to provide emergency services. Adewale says all federal hospitals will remain open while the presidency is working to resolve its differences with the striking resident doctors. The resident doctors who rejected the memorandum of understanding with the presidency last Friday had vowed to stay away from wars until their demands are met. The demands of the resident doctors include the payment of shortfall in their salaries in 2016, January to May 2017 and August 2017. Others of their demands are secularization of the entry point of house officers and of stagnated promotion, placement on appropriate grade level, remittance of their pension contributions into retirement saving account, and enrollment on the Integrated Personal Payment Information System. Meanwhile, Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria has warned debtors on internship not to join the strike or they will repeat their program. Ijaw leader Chief Edwin Clark has cautioned pro-Biafra agitators against plunging Nigeria into another civil war. Clark says Nigerians do not want another civil war and berates leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, for canvassing for the breakup of the country. The elder statesman who spoke on the issue while receiving Vice Chairman of Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs, Shehu Sani, in his house, explains that the clamor for restructuring should not lead to a split of the country. He asked the National Assembly to revisit the power devolution clause it rejected during the amendment of the 1999 Constitution. Clark canvassed for the 36 states to be federating units, while the federal government is restricted to only customs, immigration, prisons, foreign affairs, and other unspecified areas. Number of Nigerians who died in the ongoing Hajj pilgrimage in Saudi Arabia has increased to 14. Head of medical team of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NACON, Dr. Ibrahim Kana, made this known at the post-Arafat stakeholders meeting in Saudi Arabia. He says the medical team is still tracking Nigerian pilgrims in Saudi hospitals and monitoring others who are sick or might have died in other health facilities not operated by the Commission. The airlift of Nigerian pilgrims back to Nigeria from Saudi Arabia is scheduled to begin on Thursday, with pilgrims from Gombe State. The airlift back home is expected to end on or before the 5th of October. You are still listening to the World News at 5 on Rock City 101.9 FM. Next, we bring you foreign, business, and the sport news. Let's just stay with us. Former US President Barack Obama has attacked the Trump administration for scrapping his scheme to protect young undocumented migrants from deportation. Mr. Obama, appealing to Congress, said the decision was cruel and wrong. Targeting these young people, according to Obama, is wrong because they have done nothing wrong. The Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals DACA program was rescinded on Tuesday in a move that could affect some 800,000 beneficiaries. While existing recipients will see no impact for at least 6 months, no new applications can now be made. Brazil's top prosecutor has charged former President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva and Dilma Rousseff with forming a criminal organization to divert funds from the country's state oil company. Prosecutor Rodrigo Janos said Lula, Ms. Rousseff, and 6 fellow Workers' Party members committed a series of crimes involving Petrobras from 2002 to 2016. These are the first criminal charges against Ms. Rousseff, who was impeached in 2016 for breaking budgetary laws. The charges are related to the sprawling Operation Car Wash that uncovered a scheme in which Brazil's biggest construction firms overcharged Petrobras for building contracts. Some of the extra money was used to pay off politicians and buy their votes and help with political campaigns. Up next in the World News at 5 is business news. Microsoft has announced that a major update to its Windows operating system will be released globally on October 17th. Release of Windows 10 Fall Creators Update will come the same day that Windows Mixed Reality headset powered by the software hit the market. Microsoft Executive Vice President of Operating System Terry Myerson said in a blog post, unlike virtual reality gear already available, Windows headsets made by partners such as Asus, HP, and Lenovo will not require cameras to track user movement, according to Myerson. Finally, in the news is sport news. Nigeria Football Federation (NFF) has opted to pay players and officials of the Super Eagles full match bonus for Monday's 2018 FIFA World Cup encounter against Cameroon in Yaoundé. The players and officials will receive their full match bonuses even though the tie in Yaoundé ended in a draw. NFF President Amaju Pinnick announces this to the team on board the aircraft that flew the Nigerian delegation back from Yaoundé on Tuesday morning. The excited players and officials applauded as Pinnick insisted that it was just a reward for their performance over the two legs of the most anticipated feature of Group B. Meanwhile, the Chipolo Polo of Zambia continued to breathe down the neck of Nigeria's Super Eagles as they recorded an away win over the Desert Warriors of Algeria in Constantine on Tuesday night. The only goal of the game came midway in the second half when former Under-20 international Patson Daka bundled the ball home. The victory took Zambia to 7 points, 3 adrift of Nigeria, whom they will meet on October 7th in New York. Nigeria's Desert Warriors are now rooted to the bottom of the table with just a point. That was the World News at 5, but just before we go, a quick recap of the major stories once again. In the World News at 5, World Bank team inspect Togun road project over proposed $350 million grant. Buhari wants Nigeria's exit from recession to improve living conditions. Ijaw leader Edwin Clark warns IPOB other Biafra agitators. Number of Nigeria's Hajj pilgrims who died in Saudi Arabia risen to 14. Obama says Trump's scrapping of U.S. young migrant scheme is wrong. And Brazil's former president faces criminal charges. For more stories and to listen to us live, do log on to our website www.rockcityfmradio.com/live. We really do appreciate you for staying tuned. I am Kunle. Alaye. Good evening.